Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or should I say welcome to handbag class, handbag 101, take a seat. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the luxury handbags known to have the most defects and wear and tear issues, okay? Stay away from these bags, or I mean should you, because it clearly hasn't stopped me from buying all of these. If you're considering investing in any of these bags, this video may scare you, but if anything, I want it to inform you and I want you to be aware of the possible risks, the possible defects or wear and tear issues that may take place. If you're buying luxury, if you're buying from a designer house, for the most part, you will be taken care of. And I mean, it's good to be aware, and knowledge is power, especially when you're spending thousands of dollars. So I had correlated over 250 responses on my YouTube community tab and on Instagram of you and your opinion and your experience with luxury handbags, defects, and wear and tear issues. So I've collated that data, call me a scientist, and I've brought you the most frequent, the most regularly brought up defects and wear and tear issues. Now, before I get started, is my research flawed? Honestly, maybe, but if anything, it's more the data that may possibly be flawed. You could ask yourself, are these bags known to have more defects and wear and tear issues than any other bag? Or is it only because they are some of the most popular bags bought, therefore increasing their chances of having wear and tear issues? Ooh. Philosophy, asking the deep-rooted questions of the world. So take this with a grain of salt. More like a whole freaking bucket. I'm gonna launch into the main defects of the handbags that are most mentioned, and also ones that I personally own to share with you. I'm then going to launch into other brands and other bags that were mentioned, and then I'm going to end with kind of like my other section. So just various other comments that came up. First up, I'm gonna be sharing with you the boy bag. Now this one by far got most of the comments in terms of wear and tear and defects. I mean, I think these are just maybe more wear and tear issues, general aging, general wear. But the most popular problems, I'm gonna call them, that arose with this bag is apparently wearing corners. Now, my particular one, I don't really inspect it to the degree that a lot of other people may inspect their bags. And now that I look at it, yeah, I mean, my corners are wearing faster than the rest of the bag. But again, it's not substantially wearing to the point where it's making me sad or irritated. It's just genuinely probably because I put my bag down all the time on a variety of different surfaces, and the leather rubs when it's placed down on a particular surface. The other issue that came up quite a lot, which I haven't experienced either, is apparently a collapsing middle. I'm going to quickly touch on my Dior bag. This wasn't really brought up at all on Instagram or YouTube, but it's something that I want to share with you, and it's also something that somebody reached out to me with a similar problem, defect, wear and tear issue. So tarnishing on the Dior. So I have a little bit of tarnishing around the handle areas, and I think it's just because, I don't even know if it's tarnishing. I don't know why I went to go lick my finger. I'm such a mum. I don't know why I would think that like rubbing my spit on it would help. I almost feel like it's not even tarnished. The actual color has started to wear away, and I think that's just because of the constant hitting and rubbing of that and the strap. I know tarnishing can be an issue for some. You can take it to a store and they possibly may polish it for you, or you can go ahead and try to polish it yourself. But I think for me, I don't even know if it's, can be honest, I don't even know if it can be fixed, because when you run your hand over it, it feels like it's actually peeled off, like it's slowly been peeling away. Now I'm going to talk Louis Vuitton. I pulled out my very old Speedy for this particular point. The most common problems that have came about for the Speedy are again tarnishing on the hardware, but also apparently peeling around the handle areas. Now I haven't experienced either of those issues, and I have worn this bag to death. A lot of people refer to it as immediate tarnishing. I can't really comment on that because I do have tarnishing on my metal, but truly, look at this freaking bag, okay? She old and saggy. Who knows when that tarnishing came up? So tarnishing seems to be a problem across all metals, and apparently peeling around the handles has also been a bit of a problem for some. For me, that's not something that I personally experienced. The other most common issue was wrinkly handles. Now, she's not wrinkly for me. Look, I mean, she's sagging. She's losing shape, okay? but she's not wrinkly yet. But she hasn't developed really deep set wrinkles at all, honestly. She's not even wrinkly at all, okay? Maybe she's injecting her handles with Botox. I'll never know. That was a horrible joke. This is another one that came up countless times, and I think that we've all kind of heard the horror stories about the Pochette Matisse. Personally, I, touch wood, have never had any issues with this. I've never had a problem with this, but I've heard of countless people that have. The ever famous glazing issues on the Pochette Matisse. I personally did not experience any of these issues, thank my lucky stars, but I know that they were quite a common issue. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a Pochette Matisse, especially on the resale market, keep that in mind. I also heard quite a lot of people having issues with this being wonky, kind of like a wonky clasp. Again, count my lucky stars, all right and tight. You know, it is experiencing a bit of wear. The gold is coming off and it's tarnishing and it's scratched and all sorts of ish. Even my bruschetta is starting to peel off up here and show a little bit of wear, but I didn't experience the glazing issues or the wonky fastening like a lot of people did. So now I'm going to touch on the Neverfull. I personally don't own a Neverfull, but a lot of people complain and are dissatisfied with the straps of the Neverfull. A lot of strap issues apparently take place. Cracked leather is a big one, but also the piping on the handles has been known to show defects and show wear and tear incredibly fast. So another classic popular Louis Vuitton handbag, the Alma BB. So a variety of issues came up for this bag, including wonky handles, uneven handles, and actually when you sit the bag down, a few people did mention that it didn't sit straight, like it was wonky, it was off center, it didn't sit straight. The old Palm Springs Mini. I didn't hear any issues in regards to the new Palm Springs Mini, but I think we all know the deal with her. If you don't, let me just quickly inform you. Glazing, canvas wear, up the wazoo, okay? This zip, not a vibe. Beware of that, because if you have the old Palm Springs Mini, the likelihood of that glazing happening is very, very likely. Cracking on the leather straps was also something people mentioned. I'm just inspecting mine now. Mine seem to be fine. So if you're enjoying today's video, if you're enjoying Handbag 101, if you want to pass, feel free to scroll down and hit that subscribe button. If you want to get an A+, a high distinction, if you will, okay, extra credit, please ring my bell. Subscribe and ring my bell. Join us here every week. And if you miss a class, you won't pass. Jack. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a quick fire round. I'm going to share with you brand by brand and a variety of bags that were mentioned to show wear and tear easily and have defects. So we're starting with YSL. C'est l'élan. I love saying that. Problems can include peeling on the top handle of the YSL college bag. Someone also mentioned that the YSL bags, anything that's logo wrapped in leather, is awful for peeling. Also, the YSL Puffer Lulu bag also apparently shows corner wear very easily. So now we're discussing the issues with Gucci bags. So another popular one that came up was the Gucci Soho Disco bag. Apparently to some it doesn't hold shade and it can crease. Apparently the straps also fray badly. Apparently also for the Gucci Marmont, the piping has been known to wear off in random and inconsistent places. Also another popular one, the Gucci Dionysus. There is damn crystals on the Gucci Dionysus styles. Some of the more bedazzled versions apparently are not glued on very well. And look, I can speak from personal experience just with my Chanel costume jewelry. I do not recommend any bags with crystals, or really anything with crystals or diamantes or anything like that, because you never know how they're put on. You never know how well they're glued. Other issues that arose for some were the classic flap having a twisted chain. I, thank God, have not had that issue. So other issues that arose for that bag are misaligned flaps, popped stitching, and quilting not lining up. So now we're talking Louis Vuitton. Now, only one person mentioned this, but I feel the need to tell you because truly, I had no idea this could even be a problem, and I didn't even think that this would be a problem. Somebody mentioned that their petite malle, the leather on the bottom rips and peels and can't be replaced. And I guess they mean every time you open it, I guess over time that would start to wear. Like every time you open and close that, it shows a little bit of an indent. I mean, that must be a fault. That truly must be a fault, because that's crazy to me. I also got word that the Louis Vuitton studs on the Speedy Nano can sometimes be a bit wayward, misaligned. I heard some people tell me that they were like upside down. The LV studs were upside down. Truly, that would just irk me to no end. So now we're talking Fendi. This is an issue that came up repeatedly with the Fendi Peekaboo in the larger sizes of the bag. Apparently, some believe and some feel that the leather is too soft and too supple for the actual shape, so it just starts to lose shape completely to the point where it's basically unwearable. Apparently, that can also be the case for the Capucines. It starts to wear and just really sag and just look quite tired and old quite quickly. Share with me your thoughts if you have those particular bags and how you feel about that, if you feel that's your experience. Also, another problem that came up a few times was Dior ladies. Now Dior do some beautiful, incredibly artistic, intricate embroidery beading bags, and a lot of issues that came up was loose threads and beading missing. So please keep that in mind. Try not to buy display pieces, especially if you're spending that expensive money on the embroidered pieces, because they do cost a lot more than the regulars. And just look over the bag more than once to make sure that you have no loose threads, no missing beading, because that's so important, and that's another issue that came up countless times for people. Also, I heard from quite a few people that the Prada bags, the metal tarnishes very quickly, some within a year to a year and a half tops. And I think that's a common problem from what I've noticed across all bags, is that tarnishing of the metal. So Givenchy Antigona is another one. I know it's not really a popular bag anymore. I used to own it. I didn't find I had any problems with it, but some of the problems that can arise with the Antigona is the lining rip. Also, the straps have been known to slip out of the hardware. I had 3 people message me about that particular issue with their Givenchy Antigona. We're going to touch on just general comments, general themes that came up again and again across the board for these brands and these handbags. So tarnishing of the gold on Louis Vuitton handbags seems to be a really big issue. Someone said that you can actually polish the tarnish away. They use brass polish for their LV brass hardware, and it makes everything sparkly and new. Brass tarnishing isn't a defect, all brass tarnishes. So please keep that in mind. If you feel safer going to the store to have them look at it, feel free to do that, because if you try to fix this problem, or if you try to clean a bag yourself, and if LV knows that you've done and you've tried to do this, sometimes they won't help you. They won't take the service further. That's what I've had happen to be my personal experience. Sometimes if you accidentally F up, it voids the warranty. So keep that in mind, because I'm just like such a little pansy, and I'm a Cancer, safe Sally. So just keep that in mind. So someone also mentioned that people always say that pebbled leather bags over lambskin is better for durability, and that pebbled and grain leather frequently seems to trap dust in the fine lines, so the lighter colored bags may look grayer over time, whereas lambskin doesn't. That's true food for thought, because I've heard that time and time again. People always tell me, Caitlin, why are you getting lambskin? Why are you getting lambskin? You need to get grained leather. But you know, if people have this issue with grained, then I mean, pick your poison really, potato, potato. Loose threads on Chanel bags came up, oh my God, I cannot even count how many times out of the 250 responses people said loose threads, loose threads, loose threads, loose threads on Chanel handbags. It's a problem. Some issues that came up with the empreinte leather for the Louis Vuitton handbags is denting and general glazing to that particular leather. Misaligned canvas on Louis Vuitton is also a big problem for people. Chanel bags deflating and losing their shape is another problem, another wear and tear issue that a lot of people brought up. To end on a horror story, the Louis Vuitton white multicolor, due to the red interior, oh my God, this woman, the red leaked and stained the exterior of the bag. Truly terrifying. So I thought I'd leave you on that note. What a horror bedtime story today was. Class dismissed. Before you go though, please feel free to share with me your thoughts on today's video. If there's any other defects or wear and tear issues that maybe I didn't mention today, or if you want to second any of these and say, yes, I've had that, I've experienced that, please share with me all your thoughts in the comments down below. Help a fellow sister out. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Share with me all your thoughts below. I'm gonna have another one linked for you right here if you haven't had enough of me just yet. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.